Whew.
Alright, what's good, y'all? Wanted to get a little vlog done for y'all. Usually I work 3 to 10, or 3 to 11. So usually I work at night, but today I had a little morning shift, so I wanted to record a little something and get something done when I got back here. It is right now Friday, November 14th. Unfortunately, because they switched my schedule to the morning today, I didn't actually end up taking a trade today. I should have, and I'll do a trade recap in just a second with you guys over the trade that I would have taken today had I been on the charts. But since I was at work in the morning, I just decided not to trade because it would have been way low probability, and I had too much going on to worry about work and to try to trade at the same time. So I just ended up placing the trade. After the fact, I just replay traded it. So I'll go through that with you guys right after this. Yeah, so right after this, we'll hop into the charts and go over the exact replay trade of what I would have taken today had I been on the charts. I'm gonna slide to the gym, and then after I'll probably just talk a little bit about psychology and how the week has been going. All right, well, time for the charts. Cool. So Friday morning open. Let me first mark 9:30 on both charts. Okay, cool. So market's gonna open on that blue line. First, let's just kind of go over the daily bias and what I saw going into the day. First of all, going into the day, I can see that we're obviously starting to move bearish because we inversed this gap right here. So we just inversed this big daily gap. And we do it on ES too. Yeah, we also inverse it on ES as well. Of course, we still have this high time frame SMT going on up here. So that's going to make us extra bearish. Just kind of looking, if we were going to be bullish, then we would have to both take these out, these lows out, since we're actually creating an SMT as we speak. We're going to end up targeting these lower lows down here. Since we're inversing this gap, we've come down. I think ultimately we're going to end up targeting these lows. However, on the 1 hour and on the it kind of gives it away. Fuck. Well, I guess it doesn't give shit away because that's what happened off the open. But right now we're rejecting. Okay, so right now we are starting to make this retracement up before the open. On NASDAQ, we took out these lows, while on ES, we did not. Even though my overall bias is for us to end up taking out these lows, since NASDAQ did just take out these lows and is now rejecting, I don't think we'll come straight down here all the way from up here. Because if we look at all of these candle closures so far, I'll go back to the 4 hour. Because if we look at all of these closures, we come down and we come back up. We come down, we come down. I don't think we would come all the way from up here, come down, 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 and only have this little retracement, and then continue to come down and sweep out these lows down here. I just think it's unrealistic for us to just go straight down through all these lows, especially with this SMT for me here. We also have this 4-hour gap above. So even though overall I want us to keep heading lower eventually, I think for this open it's going to be more of a bullish reaction because we engineered a little bit of liquidity right here, right below this 4-hour gap. We also, if we look at mark out our session liquidity, yep, Asia highs is up here as well. So the top of this liquidity right here is where Asian highs are resting too. So that's a large pool of liquidity as well as London highs. Okay, cool. So now that we have our liquidity marked out, we already took out Asian lows and we just took out London lows, just took out London lows off the open. We're starting to react up with this SMT. So now we're just going to chill on the 5-minute and wait for an entry. Ideally, on this open, we manipulate down and then see some sort of manipulation up. But whatever we end up doing, let's see. So market open. I'm just going to cut to the chase for you guys, kind of speed through this. We can see that on NASDAQ and ES, we start to make this reaction upwards off of this SMT. As we can see here, after taking out these lows, we went down a little bit, but there was no entry in here. Definitely no entry. We just went straight down and straight up. So we're just going to wait for some sort of retracement, since right now we're just heading straight up. There's no retracements at all. There's no gaps on ES, and ES is the index I'm going to want to be taking along on to this gap if that's what I'm targeting, because it is the leading index in this bullish SMT. So back to the 5-minute. We're just kind of here on the 1-minute chart, waiting it out. Oh, it looks like it's not fast forwarding. Okay, now it's working. All right, cool. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm drawing my fib now that we have some sort of smaller reaction. I see I'm looking really for us to retrace to some sort of 5-minute gap or to the equilibrium or this 0.79. But I'm really willing to, this is honestly for me, these London highs and this 4-hour gap with these Asian highs is a really strong draw on liquidity, just because we don't really have any lower liquidity or anything to really push us down before taking this out. I feel like for us to go lower, we need to go higher from here first and take out all of this liquidity that's just sitting here. It kind of spoils it a little bit on this 1 hour, but whatever. But back to the 5-minute. We're waiting for it to retrace to some sort of gap. It looks like on NASDAQ it did retrace to this 5-minute. So we're watching. We are drawing our fib. We're waiting for a nice retracement to some sort of gap. Looks like right here we tap into a 5-minute gap. We also create an SMT off of these lows. So NASDAQ makes a higher low while ES makes a lower low. While ES makes a lower low into this 5-minute gap. So we scale down to the 1-minute and we wait for some sort of retracement into a 1-minute confluence. So we start to react up. Looks like here you could even kind of draw a mini fib if you want to. But even right here, we come into this 1-minute And now we really dip into it. I'm going to change this to green just for the sake of it. This is also going to be green just because these are bullish gaps. On the one we dip into here, and we have a bullish candlestick out. That is my entry model. So I hop right in there, stop at the low right here. Oops. Yep. Stop at the low right here and take profit. Let's see. Let's go to the 15-minute. I'm going to move this out a little bit. Take profit. Realistically, I would have put, especially with how much I've been losing in the past week, I would have put however many contracts to risk 500, which is 1% of my 50K right now. And then I would have taken off probably half the position or 70% of the position at this high. And I would have held the rest of the position probably until these Asian highs or until 11 o'clock. So let's see. Let's just put it at the Asian highs and we'll manage the position how I would have. Cool. So let's see what we see going out of this. So we get slightly going to draw down a little bit, and it looks like pretty much right after that we head straight to these London highs. So that's TP1, which is a 1.15 or 1.54 R. So if I risk $500 times 1.54 would be 770. So if I was going to close out half of that, but yeah, that would have been 385 there. And then if we fast forward the chart at 11 a.m., I want to close out all my trades, especially if I'm in profit. And it looks like at 11 a.m. price was right here, and that would have been a 1.76. I don't know. I just tried to do the math, but I don't know, bro. I haven't been to school in a long time, and I just read the charts, bro. But I would have probably made, if I had to guess, because 1.5 would have been 770. So 1.7 would have been like, fuck, this is frying my brain, bro. I'm just gonna guess it would have been like 800 or 900, bro. I don't even know. It would have been nice seeing as my TradeZilla. I'll show it real quick. I just been losing all week. I reset my accounts again on Wednesday just because I failed these ones. Honestly, like I've been getting shitted on, and this is obviously I'm on a losing streak, and it's nice to break that losing streak, but it really sucks that it's the day that I actually couldn't trade is the day that my setup plays out the easiest. But to know that I'm able to just read the chart like this and actually, like, you know, for a second you start losing back to back and you start thinking, I don't even know what I'm doing trading. But, you know, a setup like this and a day like this brings back to me that calmness and that I know what I'm doing when it comes to trading. I just need to not let the market get the best of me and my emotions and be able to just let my edge play out over a series of weeks and months. So even though it kind of hurts that, like, I could have been like, because yesterday I just lost 446 on my new Express accounts, or the XFA, like the whatever the test part is called, like before you can get payouts, but or the valuation, that's what I'm looking for. But I lost 446 on new evaluation. So today, if I had made 700, then I would be up 300 and I wouldn't be in drawdown anymore. But anyways, I mean, as long as I keep my risk plan straight and I keep on doing this stuff and focusing on easy setups, it'll be fine. I had to move y'all a little closer so we could be a little more intimate, you know? Let me talk to y'all a little bit about the title of this video. If you're stuck. Mostly what I'm going to be talking about right now is just that perception is reality. everything all your memories, everything that's ever happened to you, everything that exists in your life is only how you perceive it. Everything that you know is only how you know it and only how you see it. And sometimes you just need to realize that everything that you've ever experienced and everything that you ever are going to experience in the future is all only through your point of view. And that's not to say be narcissistic and think you're the main character and you're the only person that matters, but it is to say that if everything that you've ever experienced goes through your mind, that's your one tool that you need to hone. And it starts first thinking about physical things. Everything that exists was first materialized in the mind and first started in the mind. To do something, you have to know it. To know something, you have to learn it. And you need to realize that if everything around you first exists in the mind, that means that the external battles you're fighting or the things that you're going through in reality are only effects of the cause, which is your own mind, and that everything in this world is just a reflection of you. But how does this help me if I'm stuck? Well, if you realize that everything that's happening around you is just a result of what's happening inside of you, you'll easily realize that reacting off of the things that are happening to you on the day-to-day, on the externally, whatever's happening to you in your day-to-day life, problems, things that are coming out of nowhere, if you let that affect you and that's what you react off of, then you're just going to be stuck in a loop. Because how do you change the effect with the effect? The world is just simple cause and effect. The reason why you're not where you want to be is because you don't deserve to be. Because you can only have what you already have. You either have something or you don't have it. But there's nothing that you can't have. And once you realize that you already have everything that you need, you already have all the tools to be the person that you want to be, you just have to become them. Because the person you are now is necessary for your future self. So you have to zoom out. You have to realize that the problem that you're going through today is going to be insignificant tomorrow. Or you have to realize that the problem that you're going through today is going to be insignificant in 2 weeks. You're already going to have forgot about it. So why stress? Why let your emotions, the up and down of everyday life, let that decide your decision making and the things you do every day? Zoom out on your life and set some damn goals. Real goals with numbers. It doesn't matter what it is. Figure out something that you want and just track your progress to it. Figure out, like I had said this in the last video, I think, just set an alarm for every hour or every 2 hours. And when it goes off, write what you're doing. And you'll realize, like so quick, within a few hours, you'll realize how much time you just waste. Like just doing nothing. And I still literally get paralyzed on my phone every day at some point. And I'm trying, like I'm getting better at it. But yeah, I ended up hooping for like 2 hours from like 8 to 10. Slid back over here. I got some chicken that I just heard finish in the air fryer. So I'm going to go handle that. But if y'all like this video, subscribe to my shit. Comment down below. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you didn't like it. See you guys.